is going to continue to want to make soup or make automobiles once he knows what the ground rules are in Quebec.
The Parti Québécois was elected on the platform of good government and eventually separation, and they think that the promotion of French, the way they are promoting it, is their number one priority. But the time that we are losing now, which will be about 6 months to a year, and maybe until the next election, we'll never get it back. Unemployment here in October, November 1977 will be in the 12, 13, or 15%, with mostly young people between 20 and 25 having no jobs. And this is a very serious matter, much more serious than the promotion of French the way it is done now.
I think the people who've done the most crying since the 15th of November and against Bill 1 are not the people who take the investment decisions. General Motors has never said anything about the French language, and right across the road there, they're investing $36 million to transform their plant for a new type of model, which is one of the best sellers in North America. Other major companies since the 15th of November have announced major investment plans. Some of them feared that the Parti Québécois was going to be a very rampant, out-and-out and radical socialist party. And once the moderate social democratic position of the Parti Québécois was clearly established, other major companies have announced major investment plans too.
Not everyone shares Robert Dean's optimism. Forecasts of economic ruin must ring in the ears of the Quebec government. They are ignored. Blackmail is how such gloomy prognostications are regarded by Premier Levesque.
Well, the blackmail is, I think, par for the course. It's more or less always tied to bread and butter. In other words, you're going to go down the drain, you're going to practically disappear economically. I've even, to go to the absolute absurd extreme, I've even read letters coming in over the last few months talking about the Americans maybe being so mad at us that they'd reverse the St. Lawrence or things like that. No, but it goes to crazy extremes like that. I'm not talking about Mr. Trudeau or the federal establishment. They keep it to bread and butter. In other words, the argument to the stomach. The minority people, which has always been colonial from the word go, because we were a French colony, then a British colony, and now we're an inner colony. 1 province out of 10 in a dominantly English country. Colonial people, which has always been in a colonial setup, is supposed to be, and usually is for some time, a good target for that kind of blackmail, because it means a long habit of dependence on others for many decisions, including investment decisions, things like that. But I think the change in Quebec, and the Quebec French majority, and the new generation shaping up, is sufficient now that, like other national entities throughout the world, we can resist the blackmail.
There are other ways in which the federal government can hit back at the Quebec separatists. This year's Canada Day marked the 110th anniversary of Confederation. The government spent $3.5 million on a huge birthday party which plugged the theme of national unity. The grandest celebrations took place in the capital city of Ottawa. Among those gathered for the celebrations, it seemed as if the government had spent its money well.
It's a great day.
Why is it a great day?
Because it's for all people from Quebec and the other province. It's the same country. Canada is the great.
Are you French?
Yes.
What do you think of the...
From Quebec.
What do you think of the separatists?
It's not here today.
To me means togetherness, and it means that it gives a chance to Canada to show that they belong with the rest of the world as an individual country, and they can stand on their own 2 feet. I've got a French-Canadian wife, and I'm English-Canadian, so I think, to me, provinces belong together as one big country, and I'm proud to be a Canadian and wouldn't want to be in any other country.
What does this day mean to you?
Well, it means togetherness and unity of all of Canada, not only other provinces. I mean the 10 provinces.
Do you fear at all that this may be Canada's last big united birthday party?
I see the possibility, but not the probability.
What do you think of the separatists?
Well, I feel that some of their demands may be legitimate, but I think perhaps they're shooting for the moon in order that they may hit the top of the telephone poles.
Do you fear at all that this may be Canada's last united birthday party or going towards that?
I would hope not. I think there certainly is hope for salvaging a united country, maybe under different terms than we've seen in the past, but I think that Canada as a country has a good many years ahead of it.
Federal Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau has spent much of his political life arguing that the interests of Quebec's French Canadians can best be advanced within a united Canada. But when the party is over, the issue will not have gone away. The Quebec government has refused to water down its language bill to allay the fears of the minority. The move to separatism appears to have created its own momentum. Trudeau knows that to make concessions to Quebec would be to sow discontent among the remaining English-speaking provinces. But for the moment, the show goes on. It just wasn't the Prime Minister's day. As he beat a damp retreat, his only solace may have been in the thought that there is something very English about rain in high summer. Despite the rain, it was a glorious party. But in Quebec, attitudes harden.
We shall have in Quebec, in about 2 years, a referendum, where a question will be asked, a very simple question. Do you, as a Quebecer, want Quebec to be autonomous? Or don't you want Quebec to be autonomous? I, for one, not for myself, because I shall lose for a couple of years, economically speaking. I shall have to pay a price for it. But I know that that little girl there will benefit if I answer yes to that referendum, and I shall answer yes to that referendum.
For those who share Roger Nantel's views, the language bill is but the first step towards independence. It will take more than a cup of kindness to prevent some old acquaintances leaving the fold. In Quebec, they dance to a different tune.